In our recent tomato video, I showed you everything that I put into the hole before planting. In today's video, we have 5 more warmth-loving crops that we need to be planting out. And I shall tell you exactly what I put into each hole before they're planted. Hello and welcome back to the New Dig Norfolk Gardeners, where we look to grow as much of our own produce as we can all year round using the New Dig method. In today's video we shall be showing you exactly how we transplant our aubergines, cucumbers, melons, sweet potatoes and of course the lovely squash. And of course the all-important thing, what goes into the planting hole. Did you know that a single cucumber plant can produce up to 40 fruits? I remember one year myself and Mrs. W keeping a careful count on just how many fruits we got from, in this case, the variety is Pissandra, and it was that year too. And we got somewhere between that, between 30 and 40 fruits. Now, if you do the maths, if you go to buy an organic cucumber, then you're looking at something like, well, it could be anywhere between £1.50 and £2.50, depending on where you're buying it from. This plant is now going to become worth £60 to you. Cucumbers are something like 96–98% water, so water is really important to them. More important than some of the other crops that you're growing in your greenhouse or in your polytunnel. You need to ensure that you've selected the correct variety. This variety, Pissandra, which we grow, is for undercover cultivation. But if you don't have an undercover growing space, then try something like Market More. They grow very well outside. This is some of our homemade leaf mould. It's absolute gold. Now, leaf mould, not only does it help to improve your soil, but it is absolutely excellent at holding water so that your plants are never ever sitting in water, but it's always available to them. First thing we need to do is to give the hole a good water and then let that drain away. And then we just add some leaf mould to the bottom. Let's give it a good couple of handfuls. Now with cucumbers, unlike tomatoes, you don't want to bury them too deep. Put them to the line where you can see the plant emerging. Same level as where they were in your pot. Now these are ready to go in. They're not pot bound, but they have a really good root system. I have to tell you folks, this is take 2, because Mrs. W reminded me that the first time I did it, no string in there. It's there this time. And then just gently firm that in. When planting cucumbers, if you're growing vertically like we are, they can be planted as little as 12 inches apart. We like to give us 2 feet actually, so they've got plenty of room. They do actually grow really quite tall when we grow them in the polytunnel, and later on in the season you'll see that not only will they have reached the top of the supports, they'll also grow along the ones and continue to give us cucumbers. If you're growing outdoor varieties, then you do want to give your Market Mores, things like that, you want to give them a good 3 feet between each other, because actually they are rampant. They're a bit like squash in many ways. They spread everywhere and you get lots of gorgeous cucumbers. One of the questions that I often see in the comments, and these will be from people that do not use the New Dig method, they'll often say that, well, you know, the problem with New Dig is that it's just too expensive. You need lots of compost to be able to make it work. That is a myth. Now you do need a certain amount of compost when you first start your New Dig journey. We did make a video about how to make a New Dig bed, and then we planted up 400 onions into it. So if you are interested in the New Dig method and how it works, I'll leave a link in the description to take you back to that video. But what I would say is that, remember I said that a cucumber can produce up to 40 fruits. On average we see about 30. And if you just take that 30 and let's say an average of £2 for an organic cucumber, that plant is worth £60. We're growing 3 plants. That's £180. I can tell you that here in Norfolk, not very far away from where we live, I can actually buy a tonne of mushroom compost for £50. And I don't need a tonne to use in the polytunnel borders. That tonne will do the polytunnel and the greenhouse and indeed some more of these beds. We're established new diggers now, so we only need 1 inch to 2 inches spread on top of our beds every season. If the tonne of mushroom compost is £50 and those cucumbers that I grow are worth £180, you can do the maths yourself. I'm already in profit. I can afford to buy 2 tonnes and still be in profit, and that's before I even harvest any tomatoes from that polytunnel, any chilies, any peppers, any aubergines. Mrs. W is working her way through the broad bean tops. When it comes to aubergines, you might think that you need to do exactly the same thing, but you'd be wrong, and we'll take a look at those next. Aubergines. A lot of people tell me they have problems growing aubergines, and yeah, they can be a little temperamental, but given a good start and given the right start in its hull, you can really get worthwhile harvests from these plants. I've got 3 to plant today. This is a variety called Moneymaker. It's the classic aubergine shape. These were sown back in February, right at the very beginning when we sowed our peppers and our chili peppers. You can see they've turned into quite nice plants. They've been potted on a couple of times. You will need to do that by sowing that early. In my ingredients tray this time I've also got some compost, and that's what I'm going to add to the bottom of the hole. This will ensure the plant gets away strongly, and you want that. These plants can take a while before you start to see any worthwhile harvest, so yeah, you just want to give them as much of a good start as possible. Just like the cucumber, what you don't want to do is to bury it too deeply. So let's pop you in the hole and then just gently backfill. Don't press too deeply. I see a lot of people doing that, and it really does harm the roots. And then we shall place a cane at the back here. These won't grow as tall as the cucumbers or the tomatoes, so they don't need strings. You could grow them up strings, but we just put a cane in. By the time we get to the end of the growing season, it's probably going to be up here. Moreover, with an aubergine, it bushes out quite apart, so you want to allow a good 2 feet between each hole. These onions are coming on really well, Mrs. W, in this new dig bed.
Yes, yep.
So that's the aubergines. What about melons? How can we give those the best start to their life in the polytunnel? First, what I need to do is to remove these spring onions. These were sown, they weren't actually overwintered, they were sown right at the beginning of the year, and they were just to replace some spring green that I had at the front here after they had finished, so the space didn't go to waste. They've done really well actually, and if you look at the ones that are outside that were actually sown at the same time, they're not anywhere near like these. Just like with your cucumbers, those look to add some leaf mould into the planting hole of melons. And also I like to add some of our worm compost. This is like rocket fuel for these plants. They are quite heavy feeders, and you do want them to get away really quite quickly. Again, much like your cucumbers, they don't really want to be buried deeply because they can suffer also with rotting stems. The tomatoes are actually doing really well. the things that we added to the hole at planting time. You can see they're lovely and green, they're not stressed, they're growing away. They've already put on 2 or 3 inches of growth since we put these in. So these methods do work. And by the way, if you are liking this video, do leave us a like and a comment. We always love to hear from you. And while you're there, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, why not hit that subscribe button? When it comes to the melons and the cucumbers in particular, they need some work done on them as they grow, i.e. they need some pruning, some side shooting. And when the time comes to do that, we shall demonstrate to you exactly what it is you need to do to get the very best from your plants. We said with the cucumbers, they're capable of producing up to 40 fruit per plant. With the melons, they could produce even more. But what we do have is a really short growing season in the UK when it comes to these tender and warmth-loving plants. So actually with the melons, we want to limit those to about 6 fruits. Should get 6 per plant. So we should have some really lovely melons to eat a bit later on in the season. We also have watermelons, which we shall pop in a bit later today. It's now starting to get a bit warm now. And they're planted in just the same way. The only difference is they won't be growing vertically. We run ours along the back of the tomatoes, one at each end on either side. If you live a bit further north in the United Kingdom than we do, you're still able to grow melons. They might need to grow a bit later because the warmth that they require might not still be there. But one thing you can do, if you watched our video recently where we were prepping our raised beds in preparation for our sweet potatoes, which we should be planting out later in this video, what you can do is 2 to 3 weeks beforehand is use the same black bag trick. Get an old compost bag and open it out, and you want to lay it on your soil black side up, and that will really begin to warm your soil up. These plants like their roots to be warm. When I planted our sweet corn out, I said to you that something else was going into that bed along with the sweet corn, and it will be our squash, as well as our Waltham butternuts. And we got a really great harvest from those last year, and of course our red curry squash. We're actually growing a new variety this year called kabocha, and it's a Japanese squash. They look as though they're going to be about the size of the curry squash, but these have a chestnutty type flavour. Apparently, we've never grown them before. It's going to be some big chestnuts to roast on the fire, Mrs. W.
Yeah.
So, I've made my hole. I did just pre-water it, even though it is pretty damp here. And I've also added some of our leaf mould into the bottom of the hole. You don't need to do this in the open soil. They'll find plenty of nutrients, but for me, the leaf mould is all about just holding a bit of moisture around the roots where they're going to need it. I just pop that in the ground and we backfill it. These lovely leeks, Mrs. W, they won't be long before they're in flower.
No, they're definitely starting to open up nicely, aren't they?
One of the things that always amazes me is that I see a lot of people on YouTube these days and they're buying mycorrhizal fungi. Why would you waste your money in buying that? If they know it's that good, why not just go no-dig? Because when you no-dig, you can see here, there is lots of mycorrhizal fungi. Now, what of the sweet potatoes, I hear you say? Yes, we are at last here. We've arrived at the point where we can actually plant them out. There is no frost forecast for at least the next 10 days, so I would say that that's over with now. You don't need to worry about cold nights. Temperatures by day are really quite warm too. About 3 weeks ago, we actually added our black bags to the top of the soil, and every time I go up to the polytunnel I give them a little feel, and I can feel just how warm those bags feel, so that soil will be nice and warm and ready for them. So let's go up to the top of the veg patch and get the sweet potatoes in. When it comes to planting out your sweet potatoes, they want to be somewhere between 12 and 18 inches apart. The black bags over the top, they have done their job. It's really quite warm under here, so that's great. And all I do now is to make a cross where I am going to be planting the actual slip. Now don't make this hole too small, because you do need to be able to water it, and if you can, you don't really want to be watering all of the leaves. And what we did last year was just to turn the bits back, and there's your planting hole. Not only is this soil really warm, but it's nice and dark because it hasn't been allowed to dry out. And all I'm going to do is to make a hole. Lovely and moist that is, Mrs. W.
Yeah, it looks good.
And we take one of our slips and just plant that in like so. And then backfill. We're going to do exactly the same thing with the slips that we're going to be putting into the 30 litre containers. You only want 2 per container, and once they're planted, give them a good watering in. Not only do these plants like it warm, but they like to remain moist at all times. Don't let them dry out, but equally don't ever flood them with water. They don't like their roots sitting in it. Now, what I did do at the planting time was I just added some of our leaf mould into the planting hole. That just helps with water retention. There's more than enough goodness in these raised beds when we top them up with our homemade composts. All of our tender plants are out into their final growing positions. I'm really happy about that. Conditions are really fantastic for that. The tomatoes are looking particularly good. And if you want to see exactly what we added to our tomato planting hole to get them looking as good as this and growing away nice and quickly and steadily, why not watch this video next?